Pringles.
Just blow in the can.
We gotta finish this shit. Really? Start this shit. Cuts with the orange. We on the bus, first day. First day of Taylor Gang the World Tour. We in Alabama. Gulf Shores, Alabama. Yeah, we on the tour bus now, so it's official with it. You can see got a little bedroom action back here. You can come on in.
That's my friend.
But barely any. There's not too much space, but there's my bed back here. Usually niggas be having like a little lounge back here, but not me. I'm 6'4", 6'5", tall boy. I'll see y'all in the morning, but we about to do this Gulf Shore shit. We about to party out here, hang out, chill, get ready for the show, go check out a few shows. Nothing too crazy, baby. Gang. Alright, this is the artist compound. This is my shit right here. This is my trailer. We're sitting in the boots. They even got bumps in this bitch, just in case. Yeah, it's pretty solid. They got a shower. You know what I'm saying? And they got the big boy bed. They always give me a big boy bed, yo. Because I'm a big boy. They always give the big boy his bed.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Let me get a bill. Thanks, man. Really though, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything, man. Really though, man.
We in Nashville, Brooklyn Bowl, the venue. The first show of the tour. And the Gang of World Tour. If you don't got your tickets, make sure you get them. Alright, Dagger Day. We in, where we at? Brooklyn, Iowa. Des Moines. We Des Moines. What's up, Steve? Show's crazy. It's really good. Everybody have fun. Go ahead and recap it. Show them now. Good, Tastes like life.
I just have to wear my shorts like this all night.
There's the tacos, crab rolls.
Take your time, get paid. 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 Take your time, get paid.
Chips in the bag, sir.
Damn, why did I get so many Snickers?
My legs are noodles. Day to day. Day off. We working. Me in the gym. Team Crawford. Champions of the world. Also, a bunch of real ass niggas running footage.
In the heart of sunshine we play, cause we're blind to light up the way.
Trees from the grower, on the pound of weed, so I move slower. Say she came to the studio back in the day, but I don't know her. Smoke a leaf and push my eyes lower. Mind of a stoner, fuck that, mind of a owner. Rolls Royce, mind getting chauffeured. Always getting to the point, always rolling up a joint, always able to supply what they wantin'. Always thinking on my grind, they some comfort. When they push, make sure they got what they come for. Roll me up a joint, but I need one more.
Day to day, Oklahoma City is today. Running footage. Somebody's braids said they don't look happy. They're looking like Jim Jones braids right now, but sometimes they're the best ones. Man, when you get the nappy Jim Jones braids, that means it's real. That's me in the trenches. It means you grinding. You can't fake the nappy Jim Jones braids. You can't get them nappy. When you get them, they fresh. Like that's a whole different look. But when you on the road, you just stop in here. I've been wearing my wave cap, but Capo status. For sure.
Matter of fact, I didn't even know that you get down like that. Me and your girl finding out at the same time. Soon as I'm done, she can have you right back. Take a hit of this push and relax, throw these racks. We could be at my place at about 35 flat. Telling me we're a perfect match, then don't say nothing in the morning, cause she don't fall for the trap. Bumping into a real nigga wasn't on your path. Usually keep to yourself, you rolling up and laughing. You ain't wanna choose up, but now you on my lap. You wanna leave with the boss, you are what you attract. She said it ain't nothing wrong, just that I can't correct. Do what I want, ain't no disrespect. I'm just a young nigga with a bigger check. And this is for the players, pimps and the hustlers, pimps and the hustlers. And this is for the players, pimps and the hustlers, pimps and the hustlers.
These tenders are crispy.
HughesNet is built.
Like a commercial, you take a hit out of the orange and it gives you some swag.
Oh, bro, I'm about to put this shit on my fucking IG. They're gonna go crazy.
Right?
It's gonna be like, what the hell? I've been saying it. I said it when I was at Coachella. I was like, I think I can make a bong out of this.
Stanley, one hit. Hits from the orange.
That shit fucked me up. It blew my life. He's like, what you call him? It's crazy. He said, no, I don't.
not gonna lie. It's the most smoked out this room been in.
What is the best way to listen to the album?
Keep it rocking. I was gonna say, Don, we're not on a time schedule, right? We can listen to this album. Oh yeah, I gotta go to the strip club at 10 though, Don.
Cause I've been playing it for like other people, like labels and stuff. They don't got oranges that you can smoke out of.
Yeah. And they don't get it either all the way. They might get it, but they don't get it.
They don't get it. Like it's shit like this that makes it like what it is. It's like, man, I remember when the motherfucker brought the orange out.
I'm having wild flashbacks.
I'm
having 2010 flashbacks.
Yeah, that shit is smacking.
Burpee.
Right here. Yeah.
Press first.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Will, take your own. So look. Are we doing the podcast? When we're done listening to the album. Oh, my bad, I have some respect. Yo, chill, I just don't know what the fucking goddamn time thing is.
Where's D Kizzle?
Wiz, you're no grabber, right?
Nah, no grabber.
Never grabber.
Nope. Never.
Never grabber.
Nope, never grabber.
Can you say that to the camera?
Same shot that you just did. Never grabber. No
I don't
grabber.
smoke grabber. And you got people in this house that only smoke grabber with the weed.
Yeah, grabber's nasty. There's no point doing that.
And I'm with
Siggy Skyr, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar, less sets you free.
Introducing Bellamy Executive Park, your modern living sanctuary in North Druid Hills, Atlanta.
He would say, says no disputes finally. He said, but now we think that Jane will not get on the stand today, given how this is going. I think we're going to get Enrique Santos on today. Some exhibits will be for Jane and some tech issues. So they're saying Jane Doe is going to come out tomorrow, which, wait. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, which would be Thursday. The judge says, okay. Jury comes out, then they're told to return to the jury room. The judge says, the jurors, we have some technical issue. We have to go under the tables, and we're going to have you retire to the jury room just for your comfort. We'll bring you back in a few minutes. The jury comes back, smiles, and then says, what happened on the balcony? Bungling says, I was there. He would say, says, now, who else was there? Says Cassie and my ex-girlfriend at the time. So she confirms what we thought. She is lesbian. And he would say, says, what were you doing? I was sleeping on the couch with my ex. He would say, says, were you doing drugs? Says, I can't recall. And he would say, says, what did you do when Combs arrived? He says, well, I took my ex-girlfriend to the bathroom. I went, shh. Why did you go, shh? That's what the government asked. Bungling says, I want to expose her to what I saw. And he would say, says, then I went out to the balcony and was either lit a blunt or was about to. Mr. Combs came up behind me on the balcony. He lifted me up and put me on the railing. Could you show us how he held you? Bungalow says to myself, he says, show us. He says, damn, okay, how much did you weigh? So I can't tell because of the drugs, but maybe about 115 pounds. And he says, what did Mrs. Combs scream at you? He yelled, you know what the fuck you did? I said back, I don't give a fuck. And I said back, I don't give a fuck what I did. And he says, how long did he hold you there? She says, how long it takes to say that multiple times, you know what the fuck you did. He says, what happens next? He threw me on the balcony furniture. He says, were you injured? Bungalow says, I didn't know at first. What did Cassie say? Says along the lines of, did you just hang her over the balcony? And I heard, her girlfriend is in the house. What's wrong with you? I guess like Cassie's confronting him like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, you know me, you get crazy, but you're getting crazy for people. Bungalow says he left and I left. And I wanted to take a shower. I felt disgusted. I saw a huge bruise on my leg with a piercing in the middle and back and neck pain. Says, is this photo a fair and accurate representation of your leg? She says, yes. Bungalow says, I called one of my managers and they said, if you're scared of anything else, just go to a chiropractor. He said, did you tell the chiropractor who had done this to you? He says, no. They asked, but I just paid and took the neck brace. AUSA says, is the neck brace in this photo of you? He says, yes. Did you ever talk to Mr. Combs about this? I said, I don't want no problems with you. He didn't say anything. AUSA says, is that the last time you saw them? Bum Golden says, January 2nd, 2018. All right. I also have, I'm looking for it. Give me a second, chat. So I have access to some exhibits here. I'm going to look to see if any exhibits. So I get the transcripts now, a couple days after. But let me see if, okay, all right. We got some new exhibits. Okay. Or did I read these already? Might have looked at these already. Give me a second. Codes admitted. Yeah, we haven't gotten anything updated in here. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Nothing that is updated. That's a message from Deontay, Alter Diddy. Nothing too updated. All right, good. So this is after the neck brace thing. He says, how do you remember? He says, I tattooed the date on myself. What? He said the last date she saw Diddy. He said, how did you remember that date? I tattooed the date. So why did you tattoo the date? It was the day I decided to get sober. It was a New Year's thing in Miami at the One Hotel. Puff, Cassie, and I did 8 hours of ketamine. So she's admitting after one bender with Diddy, she's like, I gotta get sober, man. Fuck this. She also tattoos that date on her. Says, are you aware that Cassie included the balcony incident in her complaint? Bungalow says, yes, I told her she had the facts wrong. It wasn't a hotel. And Tiffany, it says, it wasn't a hotel and Tiffany. Ew. So it wasn't Tiffany. I guess maybe Tiffany is lesbian as well. So I guess Cassie wrote that thing to in her lawsuit. Cassie referred to her ex-girlfriend that she was sleeping with on the couch. She thought that was Tiffany, but Bungalow says no, we weren't in a hotel, and my ex-girlfriend wasn't Tiffany. Okay, cool. Have you talked with Cassie about your testimony or hers? They said no. I've had a nightmare. I scream. When was the last time you had nightmares? Bungalow says, the other day. Says, have you hired a lawyer about the balcony incident? He says, yes, my first lawyer. I hired in January 2024. Said, did you mention everything in your first meeting with us? She says, no. So by the way, they're jumping ahead of what the defense is going to say. Like, you know, everybody has a lawyer. So it seems everybody has a lawyer who is testifying. And that's to kind of prevent the angle of you're only hiring a lawyer because you intend to sue and try to get some civil compensation, right? All good. All good. We're trying to get caught up here, people. Trying to get caught up. I wanted to get to the idea of, remember they showed those exhibits?
See on that video seems to be extremely high. So I personally do not agree with the strategy the defense seems to be employing here. Hanging out with Cassie, that he thought that they would do drugs together, and that at a certain stage in their relationship, looking around 2016 or so, that we've heard all sorts of indicators that Diddy was not happy about Cassie's drug use, and she testified that she did sometimes provide Cassie with drugs, and Cassie would pay for it, including oxycontin, cocaine, K, X, and an array of drugs. But there's some interesting stories that have come out already this morning that we had never heard before. One incident that Bono relayed is that she was at Cassie's house, which she said she was at frequently. She would frequently sleep there, either on the couch or on the balcony or in Cassie's room. And she said one time there was a pounding on the door, and that Diddy came in and he took a knife and threw it at Cassie. And he said, you know, she thought it came close to Cassie, and the state asked Bono how did Cassie respond, and she said she picked up the knife and threw it back at him. This is something we had never heard before, but you know, obviously that is displaying certainly a reckless disregard, one would think, for basic safety. Second, the second story we heard about that we had never heard is Bono testified that she was she was on the beach with Cassie, and Diddy was there, and then he came up to her and spoke close to her in her face, and said that I am your devil and I can kill you. And she said that it freaked her out, it terrified her. But she was asked, why did you continue to hang out with Diddy after that? And she said, I don't know. Why did you continue to hang out with Cassie after that? I don't know. Now, her testimony seems like someone who is somewhat affected in the sense that she talks softly, she talks like someone who has suffered through some trauma. I am not speculating. There's been no talk that trauma has come at the hands of the defendant or from other things in her life, so I'm certainly not speculating about that. But I just want to convey to you the feeling that she gives when she's testifying, that her voice sounds very soft. A lot of the questions seem borderline leading, if not really leading, in order to try to elicit her testimony. And her testimony began, the opening statement that she made when she was asked, state your name. Do you know Diddy? Yes. How do you know Diddy? He tried hanging me. He hanged me over the 17th floor of a balcony window. That's how her testimony started. Now, we had heard talk in opening statements that Diddy had dangled a woman off the balcony of a window, and there's some testimony from Cassie and a third party. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Beyonce, but I'm not sure. I don't recall precisely about the Bana on the balcony with Diddy incident. But the Cassie wasn't there when it happened. No one seemed to have been there aside from Bana, so we're going to have to hear from her. And the question is how much credibility she's going to have. She admits to doing a lot of drugs. She admits that she was on cocaine when Diddy gave her purportedly made that threat that he could kill her. So the question of her credibility is something that we certainly should foresee the defense is going to try and attack, because she seems as if she has done a lot of drugs. She's admitted that she's done a lot of drugs, and even on the stand, she seems very soft and almost a little bit lost. So it'll be interesting to see how the defense attacks, but one would expect that they're going to attack the reliability of her memory, given the volume of drugs that she's admitted to having consumed. That's what I've got to you so far. I'm really looking forward to seeing the balance of this direct. We'll hear more about the balcony incident and other...
Okay, we're back. We are back, people. All right, so they then asked, did your first lawyer send demand letters to Combs? It says multiple. The demand was high. He picked it. Said, did you approve the letter? I said, no, they were incorrect. I let him go. I said, who was your lawyer? Oh, wow. Tyrone Blackburn.
When you work on cars as much as I do, you learn what matters most. And for me, that's trust. What sets Advance apart is the people. They don't just hand me parts. They help me get back on the road. They've always got the right parts at the right price, right when I need them. Whether you just need your battery tested or you've got years of experience. Advance Auto Parts is right around the corner and ready to help.
This is how we advance.
We've used Credit Union One for a lot of great things. You need a home equity line of credit, or you decide you want to buy a new car, and I've just found every time that I've needed some support in that way, Credit Union One makes it super easy.
Rule 11 sanctions, or at least the committee, whatever. Anyway. Did people reach out to you? Tiffany, Cassie, the producer Rob Holiday. Was he friends with Mr. Combs? Yes. Mr. Westmoreland says, or actually, Mrs. Westmoreland says, let's have a sidebar. Just as we made. They had a sidebar. Okay. Perfect. Remember that thing I was telling you about that they introduced some exhibits? I'm trying to get that understanding. I still haven't seen it.
They just kept looking at it frame by frame until you could the room that I was in. So I personally a little bit strange, the approach that the defense took with respect to Cassie herself. Now, the testimony from Bana is coming on the heels of testimony from an expert witness who is looking to verify the validity of the infamous surveillance video from Intercontinental Hotel that displayed Diddy throwing Cassie to the ground, kicking her a couple of times, and then trying to drag her down the hall, and some very Interesting cross-examination of the defense that raised a lot of eyebrows. I am Joe Neerman, aka Good Logic. I'm a New York litigator who was practiced in this very courthouse in the Southern District of New York. And I am coming here from the Diddy trial trying to give you the legal perspective and background so you get a better understanding as to the opposing approaches of the state and defense and see how this trial is progressing. If that sort of thing is your deal, I appreciate it. If you'd like, share, hit the started, which displays Diddy wearing nothing but a towel and socks running down the hall to toss the video altogether on the basis that it's not an accurate, fair, and accurate.
Now, by the way, real quick, I seen News Nation been doing a lot. The News Nation, apparently there's a juror that served in the YSL RICO case. And they testified, or not testified, but they did an interview, and they feel like, you know, they feel like from what they've seen, and I don't know how much they've seen, they feel like the RICO is already proved. Remember, the jurors came out and said that if Thug had literally taken to a verdict, they probably would have voted to let him free. So they're saying in that case, they didn't really see the RICO, or maybe they were just punishing Fulton County DA's office for being super sloppy, but they're saying in this case, they feel like it's clear RICO. Let me see if I can find the juror. YSL juror Diddy. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, yo, we stopped listening to Law and Crime. We gotta go back there. I know some of y'all don't like that girl, but where is it? Somebody just sent it to me. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Folks, the Diddy case has taught a lot of us more than we ever wanted to know about racketeering laws, but Diddy's hardly the first celebrity to face RICO. The rapper Young Thug was also charged with racketeering and stood trial for almost 2 years before agreeing to a plea deal last October. In exchange for pleading guilty to drugs and firearms charges and no contest to racketeering, he was sentenced to 15 years of probation, but no prison time. The foreman on Young Thug's jury was a man named Jason Collins, who's just launched a YouTube series about his experience, and Jason is kind enough to join me now. Man, oh man, good to talk to you as well, Jason. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
How much of a learning curve? I just can't imagine. You go from this normal life and you're thrown into a courtroom and suddenly you got to learn everything there is to know about RICO. Do you feel as a juror, you have a very different perspective of what it is to be found guilty of RICO than say all the people reading the headlines about Diddy?
Correct. I mean, it's so much that's involved, and it's so big. And going into it,
by the way, I know you might be like, well, Thug got a plea. Why does this guy have any experience? Remember, Yak Gotti he went to the jury, so the jury did have to make some decisions, even if Thug wasn't involved at that point.
Knowledgeable about it, but after sitting in that courtroom for that amount of time, you get to start to learn about racketeering and RICO and what that the prosecutors are trying to formulate and give us as jurors to understand what's happening. I will say that I'm a huge opponent of RICO, especially in that case right there, because I think that the court case was not set up in a manner to charge most of the defendants inside who are being charged in that courtroom. However, I will say that it's good to know what someone, like the amount of evidence that someone should bring to a courtroom in order to be able to charge someone properly. But RICO, I was not a huge fan of it. I thought that the court case itself was done poorly. I've expressed that, and I believe the state was unorganized, and that's what led to either the plea deals as well as the verdict that the other jurors and I came up with towards the very end.
And what was that verdict?
The verdict is not guilty, except for it was one charge that I'm mistaken that was given to one of the defendants. And
For my friend Luke.
For my mom, Paulette.
And for my mom, Phinia.
For my husband, Helmut, honor someone you love by learning the warning signs of stroke.
Stroke can happen to anyone at any age. Be ready to spot a stroke fast.
Show a web and how things are connected. And it's up to the juror to follow the story. And for me in particular, I follow the facts. So it's not going by the emotions, I was going strictly by the facts. So you have the defense team who provided their evidence and providing what they want us to know, and you have the prosecution team who did the same exact thing. However, if things are not matching up, then you start to wonder, okay, then now you have to differentiate who's telling the truth and who is stretching the truth. And so in this PDD case that's going on, which is worldwide, if I was a juror on that court case, I'm going to see any consistencies. I'm going to take out the emotions and I'm going to go by the facts. It is up to the defense team to provide me the facts that took place. Of course, the prosecution team is going to share what they have to share what they have to share. However, it's a web, and this court case right here does give a threshold, I believe, of a RICO case. This is a prime example of a RICO case. What Young Thugs was going through, there was a lot of made up things that...
Captain Hart, I agree with you. Pause on the name too. Damn, man. He said Thug was more of a RICO case than Diddy, if you ask me. He says there was multiple people charged. This is just Diddy. I agree. I feel like, that was more set up as a RICO case, like, albeit like a gangster gang, because some people think, RICO only goes towards violence and with gangs, not necessarily. And the reason why it did feel like, RICO to me is, yo, I want you dead, but I want to shoot you myself. So somehow through the means, I get somebody to kill you or do other things that's going to further the reputation or further the whatever of whether it's a criminal street gang or further the mission to carry out crime, right?
That the jurors and I started to question, but this particular trial right now, there's a lot of evidence that's there, but it's up to the jurors to connect those dots and then formulate their own opinion once it's time for them to reach a verdict.
I can't wait to have you back, and I'm going to invite you early and often, Jason Collins. You really have your head around this like not many people do, so I really...
Okay, cool. We're waiting for some more tweets, so if you wonder why I'm kind of skipping around a little bit, we are trying to just, buy some time to get some more tweets in. Speaking of which, we're now getting told, so it appears that, I don't know the sequence, so victim 1 is clearly Cassie. Victim 2 is either Jane Doe or it's Mia. So it's either Jane Doe or Mia. Jane Doe is still to come. There was a victim 3. Victim 3 started, like she was mentioned at first, and then when we saw the superseded indictments, they almost start mentioning her less and less. And what was now told and what's been kind of understood is that that's probably Gina Hill. And supposedly she's going missing. Now, let me try to clue you in on what's going on.
Hey, I'll picture little Bessie.
And so, and again, Drill, make sure you do clip this. Where is Gina? That is the question. Where is Gina? Gina, I've said, I believe, is she tried to play a dangerous game, if you ask me. Because if you're listed as a victim, you must have talked to the police and you must have told them they may have taken what you have done or what you said publicly, when she did an interview saying that she was assaulted and abused. And she probably told the government some of that. Or they might have picked her up saying, hey, we have you in free calls with other women, and they're saying that you're the one who had them doing X, Y, Z. And then at that point, you're going to be like, no, I was following orders. So now you're like, oh, so you're a victim as well. So regardless of how, if they call Gina, and if victim 3 is Gina, if they called her witness 3, that means she must have talked to the government. Now, here's the thing I keep telling you. She's Diddy's bottom bit. You know what I mean? Now, I think there's a few people hedging their bets, saying, yeah, Diddy might be cooked, and if he's cooked, shit, I'll stick a fork in him. But if he's not cooked, I know he gonna respect my loyalty. And I think that's Gina. I think she don't know what side to pick. Cassie already picked her side. She's just going for the money. She's like, yo, if this motherfucker's not done, shit, I still want to be on the Diddy squad, And even though she's listed as victim 3, apparently she's missing. Now, let's play Attorney Simone talking about serial.
Attorney Simone, I am live from the Diddy trial, but I did want the content to stop. So here's the breakdown of how Gina got her secret settlement. This is from last week, so I kind of compiled it together, but you'll see. Let me know what questions you have in the chat. This is a breakdown of how Diddy is working out secret settlements both for Gina and other witnesses that the defense is particularly concerned about. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Drop your comments down below.
Okay, so she thinks that Gina got a settlement, and that made Gina, maybe they had a talk to say, yo, Diddy, you know the feds want me to go say X, Y, and Z. I was mad at you too, but I don't want you to go to jail. You pay me, I'm not like that. This loyal bitch, Cassie. Cassie, her ass double dipped. She took the money and she trying to send you to jail. We just want the bread. Give us the bread, and we won't. I ain't gonna help the government at all. Look like that's what she's saying.
It's like the named victim 1 through 5 named and addressed in the indictment. They have security with them. My understanding is there's security, and they even have trackers on them. Like, you know how you can have like a air tag so that they come up missing? Yes. Even like it's serious business. Because word is, from my inside source, he has been tampering with witnesses. And I want him to get caught, so I want him to continue. So I don't want to speak too specifically on the kinds of tampering, but I'll say this because I mentioned this before.
Is she doing Tasha K by just like alluding to things that might be rumors, or does she know for a fact? See, we got to be careful here. We're at court now. This is not gossip time, right? Did he do it or did he not? Okay, thank you guys for the 10. Says Pusha says UMG blocked him to verse over Drake's case, so Pusha paid 7 figures and gave them album points to get out of the deal, but if UMG has points, they're still legally responsible. Okay, I'll go back to that donation when we start talking about the Pusha T thing. Darren Fall says, did he hang while they were balcony same way? Well, you know, supposedly that's the whole allegation. Let's get into this Gina thing though. Is she witness 3? And did she get paid off by Diddy to not participate and to go ghost? Apparently you can't find her. She blocked me. Yeah, she blocked me on Instagram. So I can't even pull up her Instagram here. And if you pull up her Instagram, right? She hasn't posted. Her last Instagram post is right before the trial starts. She didn't post it. She's been ghosted. So now you find out that the feds have said they can't find her. She might be doing what some people thought was happening in the Tory case with the driver. Just going on a long vacation, right? Like, yes, could they try to put her in jail because there's a subpoena? And they probably served that subpoena to her already and she's entitled to show up there? Of course. But would the government go as far to jail somebody they're called a victim? That looks crazy. So it looks like, you know, she's gonna stay ghost. Oh, we can't find her. She'll pop up after the case is done. I'm pretty sure the U.S. government isn't that happy with her. Maybe marshals will try to track her down. Because if she gets up, if she answers that subpoena, they're putting her ass on the stand. You can tell they plan to put her on the stand. That was the conversation. Let's listen a little more.
Before. Remember, tampering with witnesses is also one of the predicate offenses. It is number 4. D, tampering with the
Queen Prodigy. I don't think no one will be stupid enough to go in federal court and lie. I think what it'll be like a Kelsey testimony. Where it's like, oh, I don't remember, whatever. Oh, I was mad then. Hey, can I plead the 5th on certain shit? You know, when they're trying to hold her into a corner. I think it would just be a mess, and she might even turn into a hostile witness at that point. But I think to avoid that, because I think the jury could look at, let's say they somehow hold her into court and she got to speak about certain shit, because they're going to say, well, we have your interview you did with Tasha K here, where you literally said he forced you to get an abortion, he beat you here. Your stories are very similar to what we've been hearing. You don't believe that you were coerced or you were threatened by him or blah, blah. They're going to do whatever they can to get that story out. So I think rather than put her on the stand where you know, no, with all due respect, Gina doesn't seem like the brightest cookie. I remember when she did an interview with Tasha K, she was like Tasha K's like, drink some water. She's like, you know what I mean? So she's not the smartest or the sharpest knife in the drawer. So you don't want your fate and 10 or 20 years of your life hanging in limbo, and she's the one that got to go up there and drop 20. Hell no.
A witness, a victim, or an informant. He's continued to do this because you got to remember, Diddy doesn't play fair. He wins first, deals with consequences later.
Okay, we just want to stick to some of the facts here.
He files a motion to dismiss it. Well, what he's been doing with the civil witnesses, so That the ones that have civil
Okay,
lawsuits.
so it looks like she has a theory here. This is not necessarily fact. She believes that Diddy identified, him and his team identified the civil cases that were going to be potential witness in the criminal case. Now remember, remember, they were going to bring it up in court when Diddy called Dawn's phone, or called actually Kalina, hundreds of times, or it was like dozens of times. And they're like, whoa, that's witness intimidation. That's witness tampering. Now here's the thing. Diddy's been sued on a civil level. It's very standard that a demand letter comes out. After a demand letter comes out, sometimes litigation gets filed. And through that, you're going to have to talk to the other person's attorney. Or sometimes there's a conference and you talk to the other person. And they're saying Diddy knew the criminal case was going to come. So maybe he identified the strongest victims, right? That were also filed in civil cases, used the civil case as a shield that he can't get witness tampering charges, settled with them, but on some he's not gonna put in paperwork and writing, but it's like, hey, listen, you can't help it. I'm gonna give you, you wanted X, I'm gonna give you X and a half, but you gotta go ghost, go on a long vacation, go to Bali, turn your phone off, okay? You gotta do this for 2-3 months, then you can pop back up. We don't ever gotta talk, that money's all yours. We'll put it in escrow until a certain date. Who knows? That's her theory. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think Gina wants to be with Dick. I think Gina, you see, just like how Cassie was distraught and heartbroken after she realized she stayed with Diddy for 11 years and Diddy actually had the audacity and the unmitigated gall to fucking write, my real soulmate was Kim Porter right after she passed, and Cassie's floored. It's like, damn, why I waste 10, 11 years of my life? I thought I was your soulmate. Now it makes sense.
Your work won't wait for the parts you need or the reliability you depend on. Order genuine cat parts online, anytime, anywhere. So the things standing in your way get cleared out of the way.
Hi. Oh, hey, what are you playing? You know what, don't answer that. Is it that new puzzle game, Royal Kingdom? Yep, it is. I can see it from here. I play that game too. It is unbelievable. I mean, can you believe they don't have any ads? It's really wild, isn't it? It's my royal accent, what do you think? Yes, I agree, it's perfect. Anyway, the graphics are amazing, and there's no Wi-Fi needed.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
I was. Did you not hear anything I just said?
No, I don't know exactly when Baby Love was born, okay? But, yeah, she was 7 months then. So, at the end of 2022, so his youngest kid was born at the end of 2022, okay? So that's when Diddy's youngest child was born. Remember, Cassie broke up the relationship and was pretty much very hurt after everything's making sense. This is a woman who is moving with scorn based on what she felt she didn't get. She feels a certain type of way about Diddy, that Diddy gonna call another woman his soulmate after she spent 11 years with him. She leaves him immediately. She starts fucking with the next guy she could find, which was the trainer who was giving her some penis on the side. That guy she eventually married, but she's still not over it. She's still not over it. She probably was living in regret this whole time, saying, this motherfucker really took a lot from me. As soon as Diddy has a kid, 2022, 3 months later, because it was the end of 2022, 3 months later, I think they said around March 2023, her lawyers send Diddy a demand letter. I need some bread, or else I'm writing a book. You could tell, and again, some people are going to say it's the Young Miami thing. Yes, that was happening in the media, the Young Miami Gina arguments and shit like that. But you got to understand a woman who thought that, she donated her life to you. What really probably mattered was her watching Diddy, who probably used to tell her, remember Diddy is going towards 60 now, right? How old is Diddy? How old is Diddy? 55. He's going towards 60. I'm pretty sure he definitely hit her with what Shannon Sharp said. Yo, maybe if I was in my 30s, I would have a kid with you. But I'm 55, baby. I'm 55. She was probably telling Diddy the whole time, I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. She hits 30. No baby, no ring, no commitment, and the nigga saying he ain't your soulmate. She breaks up with him. She's like, I can't keep wasting my time with you. I need somebody who's going to take me serious. Makes sense, right? We all know when women hit 30, they start. Yo, I ain't gonna cap with you. There's a woman. She might be a chat queen. I think I don't know. Very beautiful though. Like she messaged me and whatever. Like I can't remember what the conversation was, but I looked at her and she's like, oh no, she said happy birthday, and she's like, my birthday is like right around yours, and I was just like, oh, happy birthday to you too. You can only see the PFP thing. Looks so beautiful. And I said to her, I said, oh damn. She was talking about how she was. I said, how are you gonna celebrate? She says, I'm not celebrating. And I'm like, yo, it's your birthday. You gotta celebrate. I said, I'm having a show, the chatting show, and I was like, that's how I'm celebrating. And I'm like, damn, you don't got no pictures or nothing. There's nothing on her page where you can see the PFP. And she said, I'm gonna be honest with you. And by the way, she's watching. I'm not gonna tell your at name. I'm not trying to dox you. She said to me, she said, I got mad the other day. No, I got sad the other day and I deleted all the pictures. I said, why'd you get sad? She said to me, I'm turning 30. Now, I only tell you that story. Psychologically, a lot of women go through some shit when they're hitting that 3-0. I'm sorry. We got to speak straight. So she told me she deleted all the pictures off her page and she didn't want to celebrate her birthday this year because she was turning 30. Not to say that's exactly what Cassie's going through, but Cassie left that man at 29 around 30. I can imagine Cassie at 22 is saying, let's get high, drunk, freak off all day. She now finna be 30-something. She tired of the freak offs. She ain't seen no ring coming soon. Ain't no kids coming soon. She fed up. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay? Diddy probably been BSing her. Oh, now, hold on. Maybe now, like, yo, listen, I ain't do that with Kim. I want to wait till me and you get married first. Then I'm going to give you a kid. Lying to her, stringing her along. She's doing freak offs after freak offs. She probably thinking, how many freak offs I got to give this nigga to get a fucking ring? Other women coming around, yo, why you with this girl? She's also not seen a cycle. Diddy got you at 19. Start having you doing freak offs at 22. He got a new girl who's 22 when Cassie's right about 30. He got Gina. Remember, Cassie's 30, she's 22. She's realizing you're on the rotisserie wheel. You're on a cyclical thing for Diddy. He about to get you out of here or grandfather you into, I can't even say Kim Porterland because she don't got a kid. So you about to get out of the mix. But when she sees that Diddy has that newborn kid, look, December 27th, 2022, 2.5 months after that, she approaches Diddy with a lawsuit. Don't the timing make sense, people? Diddy was bullshitting her for 11 years. She wanted a kid, never gave her a kid, probably even told her, baby, I'm too old to have a kid. I can't do that no more. I've got 5 already. Like, we could adopt or something like that. Or we could do something in the future. We'll do it later, but I'm going to marry you, though. I'm going to marry you. Bullshitting her the whole time. When she look up now and see, wait, that nigga got a baby? Oh, hell no. It's time to sue. It's time to sue. Which also, if that's the case, again, I'm speculative right here. I'm doing some assumptions. I'm not sure if this is true. If that's the case, that means, and by the way, I'm wondering what her current man is thinking. It feels like she was separated from Diddy, but her heart never moved on. Her heart was living in regret and probably saying, yeah, this nigga cool and everything, meaning her husband. But damn, I wish it would work out with Diddy. If only that fuck nigga would just gave me a kid and stop having to do this and stop putting his hands on me. We would have been good. Because if on the timeline that I'm going down this rabbit hole of theorizing about is that she gets with Alex Fine 2018. It's not instant like, oh, I'm ready to leave Diddy. She keeps fucking Diddy going back and forth. She's still fucking Diddy. They even tried to do like a couple last freak offs. She marries the guy, starts to have kids, and she's still looking over at, remember Diddy, we don't know if Diddy said anything like, privately, that didn't really come out in court. Maybe like saying, leave that nigga, come back to, we don't know that. But she kind of communicates with him somewhat, very sporadically, but she's still looking over what's going on with him. Probably seeing the Young Miami shit, seeing the Gina shit still happening, saying, yeah, that bitch Gina thought it was all sweet. She going through what I went through. Yup. Good for her, right? And then she sees the baby. She wants to see the baby. Had to happen. That's what I think, okay? Fetus OG Bossy says, free Diddy. Thank you for the $5. All right. What do y'all think about that theory?
Since he's been going to them and he's been saying, listen,
So now we're back to Gina.
the government is trying to seize his assets. We didn't know where we could get access. He's likely paying around $3 million per month for the defense in this trial.
Yeah, he's definitely dropping back.
For a second there, I
Let's
didn't know it was going
one more thing before we get back in court. Gina, victim 3, right? I want a little bit more information on this. A little bit more information on this.
What up, y'all? So, as the Diddy trial proceeds, we have now found out some additional information about victim 3.
Oh, she has a nice voice for like a narrator. She should do documentary narration. Who is she?
So, if y'all don't know, Diddy's trial actually starts on Monday, and right now he has anywhere between 1 to 5 victims that may be testifying against him. But late last week, the feds reported that victim 3 is missing. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my page. I'm trying to grow over here. They don't know where she at. She ain't pick up the phone calls. They can't find her. Now, from the start of this case, we started to hear a lot of details about who these potential victims could be, and it wasn't coming from the feds. It was Diddy's lawyers. Diddy's lawyers were dropping little breadcrumbs here and there that was telling us who these victims were. So, I remember like way back in December, Diddy was trying to get bail, and his lawyers was like, listen, this is not a RICO case. All these victims, they're all Diddy's ex-girlfriends. So I said, all of his ex-girlfriends. Well, that's gonna dwindle this list down because most of us know who Diddy's ex-girlfriends are. So, once we learned ex-girlfriends were involved, I immediately thought about Gina Hunn. And the reason I thought about Gina is she did an interview way back in 2019 before Cassie ever filed her lawsuit. And she talked about how when she was dating Diddy, he was extremely violent towards her. He made her get abortions. She said something like he pushed her down the stairs. He stuck on her belly. She did this interview with Tasha K. And a lot of people didn't pay no attention to it. They thought she was just telling these weird stories. But some of us was kind of like, hey, I believe her. Sounds like Diddy to me. So when his lawyer came out and said, hey, these are all ex-girlfriends, most of us was like, okay, Cassie's one of these.
We're gonna take a break and go into the DDG stuff. Just give me 1 second, Chad. Trust.
Victims, and Gina most likely is one of these victims as well. Now, I don't know who the other victims are. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Now, today, the judge came out because victim 3 is still missing. We don't know where she's at. And he ruled on some motions that Diddy's lawyers had put into place. And as he's ruling on these motions, he's non-purposely telling us more information about victim 3. And we put 2 and 2 together and pretty much have confirmed, yeah, victim 3 is Gina. In one of his rulings, the judge said victim 3 was someone who had already done a public interview. So, which one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends has done a public interview?
Good catch, girl. Good catch. I like that.
Gina. She sat down with Tasha K and talked about how Diddy was extremely violent to her. Now, what's even crazier about Gina potentially being victim 3 is about 3 weeks ago, there was a motion that said all of the victims in the case would be referred to as Jane Doe. They didn't have to use their real names. They could be completely anonymous. Cassie was like, yo, I don't want to be no Jane Doe. I want to use my name. So everybody was cool. Then, about a week or so ago, victim 3 was like, don't call me Jane Doe. I'm cool with moving forward and using my real name. So about 2 weeks ago, she was completely in on this case. And not only was she in, she was going to go by her real name because there was something in the paperwork that said, hey, she's already known to the public anyway, so it's no point in her being a Jane Doe. She was ready to testify under her name. But fast forward to the day, she's missing. The feds can't get her on the phone. They can't get in contact with her. They don't know where she's at. But guess what? I don't think she's missing. This is just my speculation. I think
90% of your data is unstructured, and it's a gold mine of untapped value. That's
to TMZ and said, hey, victim 3 is going through some personal things right now. That's why it's kind of hard to get in contact with her. Listen, y'all, we saw this same play in R. Kelly's first trial. The first R. Kelly case, when he was accused of being with Sparkle's niece in a video, and the girl at the time was underage, a lot of people testified, watched that tape and said, yes, that's Sparkle's niece. She's underage. Teachers, principals, friends. But you know who didn't testify? The victim and her family. You know why they didn't testify? Because just like Gina, they went missing. Nobody could find them when the trial started. Fast forward 20 years into the future, and R. Kelly is hit with his bad case, and we find out in that case that those people didn't go missing like out of the blue. We found out that R. Kelly had paid for them to go stay in the Bahamas for the whole duration of the trial, and when he was found not guilty, they came back and he even gave her family members jobs. Crazy. And this is what everybody was afraid of. This is why people did not want Diddy to have bail, because people felt like if you let this man get out, he's gonna start influencing victims and witnesses. He's gonna start paying people off.
Somebody said Gina fine? Gina washed up now. I ain't gonna cap with you. No disrespect to her. She washed up now. She washed it. You can tell that the Diddy monthly allowance ain't been hitting. I watched her twerking. Gina. And I could see why Diddy was like, all right, man, let's wrap this up then. Let's wrap it up then. Let's wrap it up then. Yeah. Once I see that. Actually, maybe she's not washed. Hold up. Nah, she washed. Washed. Yeah. Yeah, she just ain't over the bandwagon right now. It's all good. Diddy, she ain't getting the drill. Diddy low key on his what's that nigga name? Leonardo DiCaprio shit. You hit a certain age, it's time for him to dip. Yeah. Gina, he's out there. Trust. Yeah, you're not the age that he loved Cassie. I told you, Yo Miami fucked this whole thing up. But the next dream was gonna be 23. Trust.
He may start threatening people. This is what we knew what was gonna happen because it was rumored he did.
Oh, let me see if this shit even move. Nah, this is that long back energy. I ain't gonna hold you. That's long back energy. I can't even hold you. That's long back energy. Hell no. I could see why Diddy was mad. Diddy in the freak off, and Diddy probably tell her, throw it back on that nigga right now. She just throwing her whole back on the nigga. Yo, put the arch in the back, stupid. Hold on, man. Give me some more Astroglide. Put the arch in the back. Nah, I'm playing. Let me stop. These are inappropriate. I shouldn't even joke like that. I'm not mature enough for this. Yo, she just wiggling her thighs. Yo, Gina, I ain't trying to like shame you or nothing like that, but I see why you got Young Miami. Young Miami gonna throw that shit back. That's a fact. Let's look at Young Miami. This is how you're supposed to. Come on, you gotta get a chick from Florida to throw it back like Young Miami twerking. Come on. Bumbo Clyde. See that? Yo, see that? Bumbo Ross Clyde. Bumbo, see, yo, go.
I ain't never seen Young Miami.
Oh my God. This how you get a De Leon deal. Oh my sweet Jesus. This how you get a De Leon deal. This how you get your own show. This how you call you Shorty Wop. That's how you do it. This right here, this long back jiggling, thigh wiggling, iron board shit. I ain't dissing you, Shorty. Don't get mad at me. If she had a cute face though, the top might have been good. Still might have been good. No? But I could tell, back shots was probably a pain. Yo, throw it back on me. Yo, why are you wiggling your ankles, man? What are you doing? What's that dance that they do like this and you keep put your legs like, what dance is this? What little dance is this? He looked at it like, this ain't even natural talent. This natural talent. Yo, Diddy trying to throw a stack of hundreds. You just heard a stripper nigga. He want to throw a stack of hundreds. Nigga, Nigga, Young Miami, she moving, act like a stripper, nigga. Look. Oh shit. Oh my God. Nah, this different. I'm sorry. You see, that's why Diddy had to come back to a black queen. But he fucked with the wrong one, a ratchet chick. You can't do all that shit with. Nah, hell no.
Right there.
You gotta get a long back, no rhythm type girl to get off the freak off and all that type of shit on. Because a chick like this, when a chick like this could twerk her ass and throw her ass like this and that type of motion that's organic, that almost is making its own beat, especially if the twerk window smell crazy, you have to trick on her ass. Like a chick like this, she gonna be like, yes, that nigga bought me a Maybach, bought me this, bought me that. And that's what fucked everything up, man. I told you, Young Miami. Jesus. Chat, gotta keep it a being with you. And she got that little moose knuckle, like you can see from the. Nah, I'm playing. Let me stop. This is a serious case. Okay, this is when Gina realized it's over. It is over. You could compete with Cassie, but not motherfucking Young Miami. And you know how Young Miami got a big mouth. Pause. But I ain't pause, but the way how she talks shit, you know she could. Nigga, she could suck an ice cube through a straw. We all know that. So you know she's on a different level. That's the thing. See, I don't even like ratchet chicks, but nobody fucks better than ratchet bitches. It's like their attitude matches their sex skills. Trust me. Nobody fucks better than ratchet bitches. Their attitude usually, the nastiest attitude, they suck the best dick. Trust. I'm telling you. All right, don't believe me. All right. Wait, what happened? Why my offline on kick? My offline on kick? Oh, back on. Oh, yeah, I had to refresh on kick. I don't know what happened there. Okay. You good? I thought YouTube was telling me, chill out, nigga. Chill out. Chill out. Shit. See, I'm lying? If I'm lying, tell me.
¿Qué pasó con mañana sin desayuno? Esto pasó. Lego with Ego.
You know what I'm saying? So zoom out, back up a little bit, back up. Boy, back up. We gotta finish this shit. Really. We started this shit. Cuts with the orange. We on the bus, first day of Taylor Gang World Tour. We in Alabama. Gulf Shores, Alabama. Yeah, we on the tour bus now, so it's official with it. You can see Bella's bedroom action back here. You can go on in. That's my crib. But barely in it. There's not too much space, but there's a bed back here. Usually niggas be having like a little lounge back here, but not me. I'm 6'4", 6'5", tall boy. I'll see y'all in the morning, but we about to do this Gulf Shore shit. We about to party out here, hang out, chill, get ready for the show, go check out a few shows. Nothing too crazy, baby. Yeah. All right, this is the artist compound. This is my shit right here. It's It's my trailer. We're sitting in the booth. They even got bumps in this bitch, just in case. Yeah, it's pretty solid. They got a shower. And they got the big boy bed. They always give me a big boy bed, you know? Because I'm a big boy. They always give the big boy his bed. You know what I'm saying? So zoom out, back up a little bit, back up. Boy, back up. Yeah. Yeah, Santa Papoose. We out here. Oh yeah, there's an outside area too. Oh shit.
This is seared tuna with a salad and then, you know, veggies and cheese.
Hey, you ever do the sauna anymore?
Yeah, when I was on the Jelly Roll tour, we did it every day. He had the whole setup down there.
You get addicted to that, yo. It's like a high.
For sure it is.
Yeah.
Get high and then do it and then get high. It's all about getting high.
It takes you somewhere, yo.
It's all about getting high.
It fucking takes you somewhere. It's the breathing. For sure. When you get in that cold, you gotta have to breathe.
Once you get through the first minute, it's pretty much getting good as long as you want.
After that, it's just you against your mind. Like if your mind tells you that you gotta get out, then you start to think about getting.
Residue can make clean dishes look dirty and finish jet fry today.
At Wells Fargo, we get it. Carlo started his business to obsess over things like basting, butter bake.
The noodles. Day to day. Day off. We working. We in the gym. Team Crawford. Champions of the world. Also, a bunch of real ass niggas. Running footage.
In the heart of sunshine we play, got the vibes to light up the way.
Trees from the grower, on the pound of weed, so I move slower. Say she came to the studio back in the day, but I don't know her. Smoke kaliii, push my eyes lower. Mind of a stoner, fuck that.
Day to day, Oklahoma City is today. Running footage. Most like braids, they don't get happy. They're looking like Jim Jones braids right now, but sometimes they're the best ones. And then when you get the happy with Jim Jones braids, that means it's real. That's mean you in the trenches. It means you grinding. You can't fake the happy Jim Jones braids. You can't get them happy. When you get them, they fresh. Like that's a whole different look. But when you on the road, you just stop it here. I've been wearing my wave cap Capo status. For sure.
Matter of fact, I didn't even know that you get down like that. Me and your girl finding out at the same time. Soon as I'm done, she can have you right back. Take a hit of this push and relax, throw these racks. We could be at my place at about 35 flat. Telling me we're a perfect match, then don't say nothing in the morning, cause she don't fall for the trap. Bumping into a real nigga wasn't on your path. Usually keep to yourself, you rolling up and laughing. You ain't wanna choose up, but now you in my lap. You wanna leave with the boss, you are what you attract. She said it ain't nothing wrong, just that I can't correct. Do what I want, ain't no disrespect. I'm just a young nigga with a bigger check. And this is for the players, pimps and the hustlers, pimps and the hustlers. And this is for the players, pimps and the hustlers, pimps and the hustlers.
These niggas are business.
Charleston White is praying.
Bungling says, not going to parties, we just party. Westmoreland says, you did a lot of drugs with Cassie, didn't you? She says, yes. So how did marijuana make you feel? Why I feel like they're asking questions that they want her to say, made me feel horny or something. Like, am I thinking, or am I, the Pornhub shirt is like affecting my brain? I feel like these questions are almost trying to make it seem, well, let's get to where they're trying to go. Pause. How did marijuana make you feel? Sometimes hungry. How did ecstasy make you feel? Uplifted. How about G? That's GHB, which, so like the negative parts of alcohol. So what about perk? I threw up. Cocoa Puff, what's that? That was a blunt with weed and cocaine. So you would agree with me that you and Cassie had a serious drug problem, right? Yeah. You sold drugs to Cassie a lot, right? Yeah. At one time, you got her like hundreds of dollars in pills, right? Or hundreds of pills, right? Yeah, they were hers. Name the drug dealers. I don't know if I can. Don't worry. Let's refresh your memory. In this job, when your clone line didn't work out due to the skater mentality and the diamond supply, he said, I believe they saw the vision, but whatever. So you believe that you were one of Cassie's best friend? Yeah. But you didn't meet Mr. Combs for over a year. And that was her man. She says, yeah. Did he standoffish with you? Yeah. Did you talk with Deontay Nash after his testimony? Yeah. But not about his testimony, though, right? We know what's going on. Westmoreland says, you don't need to talk because you know, and then they would say, objection. They sustain it, okay? Westmoreland says, so you hired Tyrone Blackburn to sue Mr. Combs. Bungling says, no, it's to seek justice. Your definition of justice is suing Mr. Combs. Bungling says, could you rephrase that? Suing for money, is that your definition of justice? She says, yes. Wow, that's kind of, all right. In November 2023, you were aware Cassie filed a lawsuit. You were working together then, weren't you? Yes. AUSA says, may we have a sidebar? Judge says, you may. Westmoreland's on her ass, low key. Westmoreland's on her ass. Yo, why everybody in my chat has these like, somebody named Wet Booty say, if somebody call Act and tell them to take a break for this case and talk about DDG. Okay, you want us to talk about DDG? We can talk about DDG. Cool. All right, okay. So DDG has filed a lawsuit, or I think an injunctive action. I haven't read it yet, but it says, okay, it's an emergency motion to stop Halle Bailey from taking their infant son out of the country. She's claiming she poses an imminent emotional and psychological risk to the child. The rapper claims and files documents Wednesday morning asking for emergency hearing because he says Halle has made plans to fly with their son, Halo, to Italy on Saturday. DDG says the court shouldn't allow this because Halle isn't mentally healthy enough to care for herself or the child. And he worries what she might do if she leaves the court's jurisdiction. DDG provides examples of the alleged conduct he thinks is troubling, claiming Halle once took his gun and left the house without telling him where she was going. DDG alleges he ultimately found her outside just holding the weapon. He said she was pregnant when the incident went down. He says Halle once tried to have an abortion behind his back, but says she ultimately changed her mind and decided not to go through with it. On another occasion, 2 months after Halo was born, DDG claims Halle sent a series of alarming text messages, threatening to kill herself and suggested that their infant son Halo might also be harmed. As you know, DDG has been accused of abusive behavior in the past. Where she